It was really frightening though. That day in particular, when it started getting dark in the middle of the day, I was sort of sitting here and I can see it getting dark, and the anxiety takes over, and you've got this job to do, but I had 2 kids sitting at home as well. I think it was around 2006, we had a massive storm and the home flooded completely. We ended up evacuating all of our residents. We had put out the call, basically any staff member who can come, please come. Yeah, it was all hands on deck, and we had residents going to other facilities, we had residents going to hospitals, we had residents going home to their families, and we had some residents going to a motel, the biggest bulk of residents to a local motel. We had to send staff to all these different places where we had residents staying, so huge job for our admin team at the time, rostering staff to 5 or 6 different places for each shift. I had a bin with some stuff that had come out of a wash, and I threw something into the bin and a bit of water flicked into my eye. It was sort of like the end of my shift, so I was like, I've rinsed it out, it'll be fine. And it ended up in quite a significant eye infection, and it actually reoccurred. I could tell when it was coming on, my eye would get scratchy. I would go to the GP and I'd say, hey, I know what this is, I think that happened 3 or 4 times after, yeah. It started in 2019 from up the coast, and there were fires moving their way down. We actually evacuated all except about 4 residents to Canberra. I can't fault the staff in any of the situations we've been through. They really just pulled their socks up and said, this is what we've got to do. We had, I think, about 10 staff go to Canberra, last minute decisions to Canberra to be with our residents. The staff decided that was completely up to them, absolutely. It was who can do this, who wants to do this or who can do this, yeah. And that's what I mean, they'd been called in and said, hey, we're evacuating, and then it was like, well, who can go on the bus? They came here to help out, and then they were on a bus to Canberra. So most of them went up with nothing with them. Even though they were in the care of someone, I didn't want to be separated. I thought I need my kids with me. So I actually did leave that day, go home, pick my kids up, and I brought them back here to the home because I just needed them to be here in case I had to jump in the car and get out of town at a moment's notice as well. We just didn't know what was really happening at the time. Having young kids, you're torn because in my head, obviously I was here and I'm here for the residents and I have a job to do here, but at the same time, I have a family. So you really have to try and suppress the guilt on either side. It's either you've got guilt for leaving your workplace, or you've got guilt for not being, at your family's side in a minute's notice. I guess that's the worst part really, is the guilt and trying to navigate a happy medium.